The movie opens in a restaurant for couples. While every other couple is flirting and having a good time, Cal and Emily's night seems to be quite boring as they can't even figure out what to eat. Cal decides they'll choose a meal at random, but just as he says this, Emily blurts out that she wants a divorce, much to Cal's surprise. Back at home, the babysitter, who seems to be quite into Cal, is taking care of his kids when she accidentally walks in on Robbie, the eldest child, doing unspeakable acts. Seeing this, she quickly retreats, apologizing for not knocking. Meanwhile, Cal and Emily are on their way back home from dinner, and Cal remains silent as his wife drives. Uncomfortable with his silence, Emily keeps talking, and she blurts out that she had an affair with someone. Unable to take it anymore, Cal jumps out of the moving vehicle, much to Emily's surprise. Back at home, Robbie is apologizing to the babysitter and also confessing his love to her, much to her surprise, when his parents walk in. Concerned by Cal's rough appearance, the babysitter asks what happened, and Cal lays it out bluntly that Emily wants a divorce, so he jumped out of the car. He said it all, not realizing his son was standing right there. At the same time, out with her friend in a bar, a young lady named Hannah can't help fantasizing about her crush, whom her friend seems disgusted by. Suddenly, a young man walks up to the two ladies, hitting on Hannah. She doesn't seem interested, but her friend seems really into him. However, the young man pays her friend no mind. He doesn't back down even after Hannah explicitly turns him down on his offer, and eventually, feeling rather uncomfortable, Hannah packs up her things and heads home. Meanwhile, while Cal is driving home with the babysitter, the young lady apologizes for his divorce. She says a couple of nice things about him, and just when she's about to confess that she has a crush on him, Cal butts in and asks her not to tell her parents about the divorce. After driving head off, he drives off to a local bar to drink away his sorrows. The following day at work, everyone knows something is wrong with Cal. They thought he had gotten cancer, but are relieved when they hear that it's only a divorce. Back at home, Cal is getting ready to move his things out of the house. Emily approaches him, being all emotional and talking about when things might have gone wrong, but Cal isn't interested in hearing that. He ignores her, instead, leaving tips on how to tend to the garden before driving off. At his usual spot in the bar, Cal is waiting for his friend. When his friend arrives, he tells Cal that they can't see each other anymore because his wife is choosing to side with Emily and has asked him to stop being friends with Cal. Further heartbroken, Cal can't stop lamenting about his misfortune. The young man from the bar earlier, named Jacob, overhears him and calls him over. He tells Cal how pathetic he is. Everybody knows his story because he just won't shut up about it. However, he offers Cal a solution. He promises to help him regain his dignity and make his ex-wife regret losing him. Cal brings his kids over to his new place. They settle in nicely, and Robbie asks if his dad is okay. Feeling like he's able to relate to his dad's suffering, Robbie tells him that loves suck. But just then, Jessica, the babysitter, arrives, much to Robbie's dismay, who is still feeling embarrassed about the love confession situation. Cal leaves her with his kids and heads out to meet with Jacob. Meanwhile, out at a restaurant, Hannah and her friends are gathered together as her fiancé makes a toast. Hannah's friend still can't understand why she likes him so much, as she's way out of his league, but Hannah doesn't care and still stares at him with googly eyes. At the same time, Cal is having a complete makeover with Jacob. He takes him to a store to change his wardrobe and also get a better haircut. He then takes Cal to a bar to teach him some game by cold approaching women. But Cal isn't really a natural at this. In the end, he just seems to be spending Cal's money and using him to pick up girls. Meanwhile, at Emily's workplace, David, the man with whom she cheated on her husband, approaches her wanting to get closer and confessing his love to her, not even sorry for her divorce. But Emily has been avoiding him and doesn't want anything to do with him. Meanwhile, at Robbie's school, he's having a crash out because Jessica refuses to return his love. This sends him to the principal's office, and Emily is called upon for his behavior. She takes her son to her workplace and asks how Cal is doing. Robbie is honest and tells her that he goes out a lot, even though he's sad. Just then, David walks in and greets Robbie, but he doesn't return the greeting. He knows who David is and confronts him about breaking up his parents' marriage. Meanwhile, Jacob is still training Cal on how to pick up ladies. They spot a woman, and Cal takes over the conversation, chasing Jacob away. After fumbling for a bit, he eventually finds the right balance between player and nice guy, and he ends up taking the woman home. They spend the night together, and he sends her off in the morning. After that encounter, his confidence shoots off the charts, and now Cal is picking up one woman after another. That evening, Jessica walks in on her parents talking about Cal. Curious, she asks what they're talking about. Her dad doesn't want to involve their daughter, but her mom blurts it out anyway that Cal has been going on a streak, sleeping with women. Hearing this makes Jessica clearly upset, and the next day, she approaches a schoolmate to advise her on how to get older men. The girl gives her some pretty disturbing advice, and they part ways. Just as she steps outside the school grounds, she sees Robbie making a public embarrassment of himself as he openly declares, for the umpteenth time, his love for her. Unable to take it anymore, she pulls him aside and tells him to stop because she's in love with someone else. Robbie is upset by this and promises to kill him if he makes her sad. That night, Cal dreams about David doing the lawn for Emily. He wakes up from the bad dream and hurriedly rushes over to her place, sneakily doing the laundry. The following day, Cal is hanging out with his son, and they have a little discussion. Robbie inspires Cal to fight for his marriage, and he decides to take the advice. The following day, Cal meets Emily to see Robbie's teacher due to his attitude. They catch up a bit, and Cal decides to fight for his marriage as Robbie had suggested. They talk for a while, but then the teacher arrives, and it's none other than the person he spent the night with the other day. The entire situation is awkward, and the only person ignorant about the situation is Emily. However, the teacher doesn't let it go. Eventually, she discloses that she and Cal had slept together, and Emily storms out of the room. Cal pursues her, but things don't get any better. In trying to explain himself, he blurts out in front of everyone that he had been with 9 different women since their divorce. He tries to make up with his ex-wife, but she doesn't listen and storms off. Meanwhile, Hannah is at another social gathering with her work colleagues. Her fiancé calls her out, and Hannah thinks it's going to be a proposal. However, much to her utter dismay, he calls her out to give her a permanent job. Angered by this, she gulps down some alcohol and storms out to meet with Jacob, with whom she ends up spending the night falling in love with each other. Meanwhile, Cal has been trying to reach Jacob, but to no avail. While Cal is all alone, Emily is going on dates with David. Jessica sees them together and can't help but feel disgusted by her. She heads home and does what her schoolmate had asked her to do. Meanwhile, Cal is out stalking his family from the yard. Just then, Emily calls him to ask for instructions on how to get an appliance working. But Cal can see that she isn't following his instructions, meaning she just called to hear his voice. The next day, while Cal is out with his kids, a call from Jacob comes in. Jacob apologizes for not being available, but he's in a situation. He seems to have fallen in love and needs some advice from Cal. Back at Jessica's home, her mom finds the photos Jessica had taken of herself to send to Cal. Distraught, she shows her husband and, seeing the name on the envelope, Jessica's dad storms out in anger to find Cal, while her daughter chases after him. At the same time, Cal and his kids are preparing for a reunion with Emily. Just then, Hannah arrives with Jacob. Cal is surprised to see his daughter, Hannah, with Jacob, while Jacob is shocked to hear that Hannah is Cal's daughter. Everything spirals downhill from there. Cal throws a fit, asking Hannah to break up with him right there. Jessica's dad arrives and pounces on Cal. Jessica arrives and confesses that Cal is unaware that she's in love with him. Robbie is surprised by the revelation, and David arrives at the worst time possible. Seeing David, Jacob throws him a punch to the face, but Cal pounces on him. Jessica's dad follows suit, and the chaos continues. The situation is diffused when the cops arrive, but the tension doesn't end as they all part ways on bad terms. Life slowly begins to move forward, even if nothing feels fully healed yet. Jacob continues seeing Hannah, and despite how happy he is with her, there's still tension hanging in the air. Robbie, on the other hand, is struggling more than anyone. Heartbroken and confused, he deletes Jessica's number from his phone, convincing himself that cutting all ties is the only way to move on. His anger toward his father hasn't faded either. Robbie refuses to see Cal, blaming him for the family falling apart and believing that things would have been different if Cal had tried harder to hold everything together. Jacob, hoping to make things right, decides to confront Cal at the bar. He asks for his blessing to continue seeing Hannah, but Cal isn't ready to give it. He still sees Jacob as the man who unknowingly played a role in his family's collapse, and he can't separate that pain from the situation. Before leaving, Jacob reminds Cal that Robbie's graduation is coming up soon, subtly encouraging him not to miss such an important moment in his son's life. Graduation day arrives, and Cal shows up, scanning the crowd until he spots his family sitting together. They hadn't saved him a seat. Instead of walking away, Cal finds another spot in the audience and stays, determined to be there for his son no matter what. When it's time for Robbie's speech, the mood quickly turns heavy. Robbie's words are filled with bitterness, disappointment, and a deep sense of hurt. As the speech grows darker, Cal realizes he can't stay silent. He steps forward and interrupts, taking the podium in a moment that surprises everyone. What follows is an honest, heartfelt speech about love, failure, forgiveness, and the courage it takes to keep trying even when things fall apart. His words cut through the tension, reminding everyone that love isn't about perfection, but about choosing one another every day. After the ceremony, emotions finally spill over. Apologies are made, forgiveness is given, and long-standing wounds begin to heal. Cal finally accepts Jacob's relationship with Hannah, understanding that holding on to anger will only cause more pain. In the end, Cal and Emily find their way back to each other, choosing to rebuild their marriage. Robbie, seeing his family whole again, couldn't be happier as the story closes on a hopeful note.